Oh, welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching Lube for February the 22nd, 2023, as the Edmonton Oilers get set to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow night at the PP&G Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a short little road trip. They will then go on to Columbus and then back home to take on the Bruins. Yes, the Bruins are coming to town. This should be a pretty good matchup. It is the 10th time that Connor McDavid took on Sidney Crosby, or is going to take on Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. And both teams are clawing and fighting to maintain position in the playoffs or to get into the playoffs, as the Pittsburgh Penguins are 1 point out of a wild card spot as we speak, as of now, which is 7:34 Pacific Standard Time on the 22nd. Yes. Going back to the last video I did, I promised I would get back to you the information on the Tom Gazzola comment that he made on the oil stream, as I wasn't sure of the exact information. So I went back to the video, and what it was, this was after the loss to the Rangers. And basically, a fan wrote into, I guess it was Oilers Now, or it was the post-game show that he does. And a fan wrote in stating that McDavid and Draisaitl are nearly combined for a total of 200 points. However, they are a -1. So what that says is they are very, very porous defensively. And that's something that is actually very, very concerning. As much as we praise McDavid and as much as we praise Draisaitl, and I love those guys, and what they did the other night, the 700th and 600 point, I love it. But they are very, very irresponsible defensively. The stats prove it. The numbers prove it. And it's not fair for me as a YouTube host telling you guys, oh, Campbell sucked, oh, another bad night, nurse, blah, 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 when, it's defense by committee. Everyone has to play it. It's not the 80s anymore. It's not where you can just rely on Kevin Lowe sliding down, blocking shots. It is defense by committee, and you have to play it by committee. So that's something that those two guys need to work on if they really want to work on. And they say that they're not about their own personal numbers, and that it's all about winning, and they want to win a Stanley Cup. Well, they need to work on that. That is one area that they need to work on their game. Anyway, I'm not going to rag on the Oilers too much here. We're going to get into tomorrow's game with the Pittsburgh Penguins right now, as the Edmonton Oilers' current record is 31-19-8 for 70 points. They are fourth in the Pacific. They have that first wild card position pretty much locked in for the last month, and they seem to not want to give it up. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Penguins have a record of 27-20-9 for 63 points. They are fifth in the Metro, 1 point back of the second place or second wild card. I think Florida has it right now. When these two guys get together, when it's Connor McDavid versus Sidney Crosby, the last 10 games, Pittsburgh has actually ousted us by a count of 6-4. However, in the last 3 games, the Edmonton Oilers have defeated the Penguins. So this, I think, is going to be actually a great game. I think this is going to be a tough game. I think both teams are really going to be playing for, really playing to win. Really playing to win. But we'll see what happens. Some of the news and notes that are going into this game before I get into the lineups, and it was something that I wanted to mention at the beginning, but I kind of got lost. I lost my track a little bit. But some of the information that is coming out right now is Evander Kane is hurt again. Yeah, apparently, and it looks like we're going back to the Detroit game. He took a hit, and it looks like it's listed as an upper body injury, so you got to take it for what it is. But if you ask me, it looks like it's a rib injury. And he's going to be out until pretty much the beginning, or almost the beginning of March, very late February. I think he's out for about 2 weeks. So that kind of sucks. With the Erik Karlsson news kind of stalling, and now it's really starting to sputter to almost a halt that this is even going to happen. The Oilers are starting to look back at Patrick Kane again as a potential line to strengthen the second line. Again, I would rather see a real good, strong defenseman come in so that maybe McDavid and Draisaitl can really focus more on their aspect of game and play the way they've always played and not have to focus on the defensive thing, because you can't do everything and expect the same results. Like, you're not going to get those guys getting the 3-4 point nights if they're always having to go back and defend as well. So I would rather see them go after Ekholm or something like that, just a real strong defenseman. But, we'll see what happens. Anyway, so for the lines tomorrow, the first line is Zach Hyman with McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. This second line is odd. I don't know why they put this together like this, but I guarantee Vinny Desharnais is not going to be the second line center tomorrow night with Nuge and Kyler Yamamoto. For whatever reason, they threw him there, and I don't know why. Warren Foegele, he is going to be on the third line with Ryan McLeod and Matthias Janmark. Devon Shore is going to be paired up with, or not paired up, but he's going to be on the same line with Derek Ryan and Jesse Puljujärvi. Now this, like I said, this was taken probably before their flight because they probably just had a quick skate. So that's probably why it's listed as Desharnais as the second line center. But I would not read too much into that. Defensive pairings has not changed. Darnell Nurse is with CC. Brett Kulak is with Tyson Barrie. And Philip Broberg with Evan Bouchard. As far as injuries go, as I mentioned, Evander Kane is out with the upper body injury, expected to come back February 27th. Klim Kostin is still with the illness, listed day to day. And Ryan Murray, as the latest update, February 27th. So right around the same time as Evander Kane, he should be back in the lineup. Pittsburgh, all day-to-day injuries, and that's Jeff Petrie, Ryan Pooling, Mark Freeman, and Jan Rita. So they're pretty much a healthy roster, good to go. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a great game, but we'll see. When it comes to the head-to-head comparison, these teams are very similar in a lot of ways. As far as the home and away records go, Edmonton's away record is 17-8-3, not shabby at all. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's home record is 15-8-4. Very, very similar. Last 10, once again, very similar. Edmonton 4-1-5. Meanwhile, the Penguins 4-5-1. Penguins are on a 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, the Oilers just came off of that 4-game losing streak and won the other night. Goaltending, you got Stuart Skinner with a record of 14-11-4 for a .292 goals against average and a .913 save percentage. No shutouts. And then the Penguins have Tristan Jarry, former Edmonton Oil King goaltender, with a record of 16, 6-5, a .267 goals against average, and a .920 save percentage. He has one shutout on the books this year. So there you have it, guys. That's the breakdown for tomorrow night. It should be a barn burner of a game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I can get out of work early so I can actually not have to play catch up on watching it. But we do a lot of overtime, so I may have to kind of or just start watching it and then miss the whole intermission and then eventually catch up. But regardless, I am going to be watching tomorrow's game with great anticipation. Those of you guys who are joining me for the very first time and watching this channel, and if you like the content I bring, feel free to hit that like, share, subscribe button. And as for the rest of you guys, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. We will talk soon. You have a great night.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the